Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's not often that the indoor activity of parliamentary debate focuses on the participation in outdoor pursuits. So I'm very grateful, Mr. Speaker, to you for selecting and granting this debate on this important subject this evening. I'm also very grateful to the Minister, because I know today has been a particularly heavy day for him and for his department. So I'm very grateful that he's here and very thankful that he's willing to respond in this forum. I would also just like to, for the record, say that I'm co-chairman of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for the Mountaineering APBG, and it's good to see members of the All-Party Group here. I'm also vice-chairman of the All-Party Group on Mountain Rescue. Good to see other members here associated with that, and also secretary of the All-Party Group on National Parks. So just like to draw members' attention to the register. Mr. Speaker, I'm a passionate participant in outdoor pursuits, as time permits with this job that we have. I'm also a great supporter of the government's efforts to increase participation in sports and sports-related activity. I believe that outdoor pursuits have got a vitally important role, which is sometimes undervalued in achieving that aim. The health and well-being benefits associated with participation are absolutely clear for all. And there's also the economic benefits, increasing the volume and the value of tourism in the great outdoors, particularly in activity and adventure tourism, which is of fundamental importance, I believe, to the wider strategy of the government relating to jobs and growth, that lasting Olympic legacy, and for rebalancing the UK economy in favour of many rural communities. It's right to put the spotlight particularly on activity and adventure-related tourism, because it's this sector, I believe, that has the greatest as yet unexploited potential for sustainable economic growth and for jobs.
Is he aware that there was the Buxton Adventure Festival was held in my constituency of High Peak only last year, at which over 800 people attended? And I tend to agree with him. We have neighbouring seats, we have a lot in common. The outdoor pursuits that are available in the High Peak and his seat, which obviously are co-terminus in many ways, are a fantastic thing for both tourism and local people as well.
I thank the honourable member for the intervention. I see the whip's heads nodding. I know that she represents Leek, and these are vitally important things for our community, and I think that the Buxton Festival, I've met the organiser in the past, tremendous initiative showing what can be done to move things forward and to help that growth and the job perspective in our rural communities. Because it's these experiences that are associated with outdoor pursuits like hill walking, rock climbing, mountaineering, that are very real and very tangible. And when you add to them mountain biking, kayaking, canoeing, and even gill scrambling, there are just huge potential out there that needs to be exploited. I think that, indeed.
I thank the honourable gentleman for giving way and for bringing this issue to the House tonight as well. Outdoors pursuits, as the honourable member has outlined, are the hill walking and the mountain climbing, etc. Does the honourable gentleman feel perhaps maybe country sports, as indeed shooting sports, with the Countryside Alliance and with the British Association of Shooting Conservation, could be two organisations that could work with the young people as well to give them opportunities and those adventure sports?
Thank you. I think that's a very important contribution. I think members on both sides of the House would agree that there's room for those activities as well. I think those debates are often quite frequent, or have been in the past anyway, and today I'd like to put the spotlight more on these other outdoor pursuits, but there's definitely work that can be done together. So, lots to do, and I have to say that I think the contribution today from members is less about head in the clouds and more about having a summit in mind and the determination to reach it. In the best traditions of mountaineering. So according to Visit Britain, in its most recent Foresight edition, issue 111, I understand, the Olympic and Paralympic Games have already massively improved the nation's brand, with 99% of international communications experts saying that those games have helped tremendously move our brand forward. And we need to build on that extraordinary momentum, which the Minister himself was absolutely pivotal in making possible. And the Minister will know, no doubt, that while we're ranked 4th in the world as a tourist destination, primarily for culture and heritage, we're very disappointing 18th when it comes to the rich natural beauty of our outdoors. And that's actually an improvement on where we were with the Olympics. So lots of work that needs to be done. And in fact, I know that the Minister will appreciate, having the North Downs Way going through his constituency, that in fact our national trails are a very important aspect of our offer and needs to be cherished as well. Of course.
Thank you. I'm most grateful to my honourable friend for giving way. Does he agree with me that the vital role that the Ramblers Association plays, especially the North Cheshire branch, and is he aware of Helsby Hill in my constituency and indeed the Sandstone Trail, which plays such a significant role to weekend walkers?
I'm very aware of it, and I've climbed on Helsby Crag myself. I think they're important trails. The Ramblers play an important role, along with many other organisations like the British Mountaineering Council and others that we'll talk about in a minute. Very good point. But there's more to be done, because when Visit England, for example, speaks to visitors within the UK, it's clear that they don't really know what the options are. There's one feedback from a focus group that apparently said, I was struggling to think of places I wanted to go because I don't know the country. What's all this in the middle? Well, the Peak District for a start, and the Pennines and all these wonderful things. We need to help get the word out and help people understand what's going on. We need to find opportunities for perhaps some of the sun seekers to come and find winter excitement and enjoyment in the UK as well. And they need to find and have access to this information, which the Minister's Department has an important role in playing. Because we are doing better at making Britain a more welcoming place. I think we need to find a way of making our outdoors more welcoming as well. And Walkers Are Welcome, a new initiative, are certainly doing that. It's a scheme that's created a number of welcoming destinations for walkers. It currently totals 100, and I think that's going to be really important to help put the focus on this activity as well. But this isn't just about tourism. This is about sports-related activity as well. It's interesting to note that hill walking and mountaineering is one of only 4 sports that's really growing in participation. Indoor rock climbing is seeing a really explosive growth, particularly with younger people. And it's incredible to see this move forward. And in fact, climbing has now been shortlisted for inclusion as an Olympic sport. It's one of, I think, 5 or 6, and the IOC will make a decision on the 7th of September. And perhaps the Minister will consider that bid that's being made and offer advice and even support in that aim. Of course.
I'm very grateful to my honourable friend for giving way. I have the privilege of representing the constituency, which includes the Coed Brennan Centre, which is one of the Plaza Brennan, which is one of the main centres for mountaineering. One of the key issues is there is a perception that these sports are often sports for the middle classes, and one of the things that they've done is outreach by ensuring that the Outdoor Partnership is trying to ensure that young school children who feel that this is something for other people are actually involved at a local level, and participation has grown significantly as a result.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know that the Honourable Member is a passionate supporter of Plaza Brennan and other outdoor activities in his own constituency. I'm very grateful for that. I know others are as well. No, it makes an important point, vitally important, not just to have this for middle-income groups, for older people, but across all the age ranges, because these pursuits are for lifetime enjoyment, unlike other elite or competitive sports. This can be enjoyed throughout a person's life. But I think it's vitally important that we involve younger people as well. The health and well-being aspects of this are clear for everybody to see, and as I think it's important to note that regular activity, as Change for Life have pointed out, reduces the risk of early mortality by over 30%. Yet only 6% of men and 4% of women aged 16 and over meet the government's recommendation in that area. So these outdoor pursuits can help in tackling that issue. And thank goodness,
grateful. Given the benefits which he outlined so well, does he agree with me that this is actually as much about outdoor education as it is about outdoor entertainment? And wouldn't it be good if we actually had the Department of Health and the Department of Education on the front bench too, because they've got as much stake in this as the Minister has?
Honourable Member makes an interesting point, an important point. I'd love to see both ministers here. I think it has been quite a long day, but I'm very grateful that we've got the Minister we have for sports and for tourism. Vitally important that he's here. And just building on the point that's been made, I think thank goodness that we have organisations like the Scouts, the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme to help engage younger people, and innovative places like Plaza Brennan and the Manchester Climbing Centre that engage people who are disadvantaged and with disabilities, like those from the David Lewis Centre, to get involved with these pursuits and expand their horizons. Absolutely.
The honourable member for giving way, and I know that we share a love of the outdoors, and I was interested to listen to the points he was making. I very much agree with him. Does he agree with me that volunteers have a vital role to play in making the outdoors accessible, especially to young people? I'm thinking about a woman, Barbara Green, in my constituency, who runs a Duke of Edinburgh Open Group in Clifton in my constituency, and the fantastic experiences that provides for young people and actually gives them a lot of skills and confidence that can help them to thrive in education, as well as providing them with a great love of the outdoors.
The honourable member, my honourable friend, makes a very important point. I think when we were on Snowdon back in September, we saw a group from Duke of Edinburgh's, from London, a group of Asian girls making their first trip up, and they are the sort of experiences that we want to help promote and encourage. I just need to make some progress now, because we also want to hear from the Minister, but forgive me for that. So, there have been progress that's been made. The Minister himself has met with the British Mountaineering Council, supported the first ever reception for the Great Britain climbing team here, with that great dame, Kelly Holmes, which was an outstanding event. Thank you for that. We've had the launch of Britain on Foot, when the honourable member for Broxtowe came and supported the launch of this important scheme, which I'll come on to in just a minute. So the participation's there. And I think Britain on Foot particularly is one of those schemes that we need to get behind. It's an amalgamation of groups from trusted campaigners like the British Mountaineering Council, the Ramblers we've already heard from the Camping and Caravan Club, and of course the National Trust. 200 businesses involved with the outdoor industry and related matters. These are vitally important, and we've got a public launch in May. There'll be 3 major projects: Get Britain Walking Week, led by the Ramblers, the Outdoor Adventure Week, and the National Trust's 50 Things to Do Week that will encourage younger people to get involved. Of course.
Thank you very much. Can I just congratulate my honourable friend for securing this debate, and also for being a Sports and Recreation Alliance Sports Parliamentarian of the Year. I heartily agree with his comments about Britain on Foot and the way people can get out and enjoy our countryside. Would he agree with me that one way people can get out and is actually just on their bikes on the wheels as well, which should encourage cycling as a part of enjoying our outdoor pursuits?
Having been a former resident of Harrogate, I do appreciate how important cycling is in that constituency, and I've often seen the honourable member out in the hills enjoying those great sights when he has any time, when he's not campaigning. Absolutely right. These are important pursuits to support. So we've got Britain on Foot ahead of us, some real momentum building here. We've heard about volunteers doing their work, creating walking festivals like the Bollington Walking Festival, and across the country as well. Let's get behind those things. And of course, the government is moving forward on the legacy for the Olympics with the great campaign. Adventure is Great is now an important pillar, and I hope we hear more of that from the Minister in a few minutes. Of course.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way, and also commend his leadership for the All-Party Mountaineering Group, which I'm proud to be a member of. But can I just ask him to really emphasise the fact that the legacy is so important, and yet we are talking about things that are not necessarily seen as organised sports, but are wonderful ways of getting involved, getting engaged and keeping fit. So we must make sure they're included in all the plans, and I'm delighted to support also with him the Britain on Foot campaign.
I thank the honourable member, and it's encouraging to see support from across the House from all different parties. I think we're all united in this particular thing. It makes such a big difference in people's lives throughout their life. I recognise the work that the honourable member is doing in various sports, including rugby league. I just think that here, with this particular set of activities, we can make a difference across people's lives. So, just in conclusion, what I would like to ask the Minister as he looks at this great hidden gem in this Aladdin's cave of opportunity in British tourism, to just think about 3 things that we'd like him to focus on, if that's in agreement with him. First of all, we'd like the Minister to think about the opportunities for outdoor pursuits and recognise the important role that we all share, that it will make in our rural community, participating in sports and in health and well-being. We'd also very much hope that my right honourable friend would be able to spend time and meet with a group of people from the outdoor organisations we've talked about and from the industry to think about how we can come up with pragmatic plans that hopefully will fit with some of his already in place to move this agenda forward